Ladies, gentlemen, and other assorted life forms, it is I, Sig Trent, game designer, co-creator of Everyday Heroes, and a captain of excitement for Sig Trent Games this week. Today I'm going to tell you what's been going on at Sig Trent Games for the last 2 weeks, give you a bit of game design advice, and talk about my week in life and gaming in general. So this is Sig Trent Games week 48 and 49. I had prepared a 48 last week but didn't get a chance to record it, so we're rolling them together. It's been 2 weeks. Let's talk about what's going on. Shotgun Fantasy layout is back underway. We had another layout contract there in the beginning part of January that I wanted to make sure we got done for the fine folks who requested it. And we got all that squared away, so we did 3 books for them. And they look rather lovely, if I do say so myself. And does a great job. If you ever need any layout work for print or for PDF, let us know. Might be able to help you out. But in the meanwhile, Shotgun Fantasy is underway, and I think it's going to look really beautiful, and I'm really excited to see the whole book come together. And yeah, so that should be pretty cool. My mystery project is all done. Yay! I finished it last week, just kind of at the tail end of the week. And boy, it was a lot of work. I had to kind of cram in about 12K words there at the end. Stuff just kept getting in the way of keeping on pace with that at the end of the project. I hate it when that happens. I was 2 days late, but it's a 3-month project, so I don't know. Still not what I like to do, but it's okay. It didn't cause any schedule delays or anything like that, fortunately. And I really just wanted to give it an extra day in order to do editing, to clean it up, and get it all nice and shiny. And so I do think it is a pretty good manuscript, and it should be a pretty fun game. We will talk more about it whenever it becomes available. That's why it is the secret project, because I can't talk about it yet. But when they get close to publishing, I will be sure to let you know so you can check it out. What else we got going on? Well, I was taking a bit of a writing break there because, but I was really kind of burnt out after finishing Mystery Project and writing so many words in such a short time. So I had to take a little break from that. And even during that time, I had to write some other things too. You know, that's how it goes. So this last week, not a whole lot of that. Taking some time to work on organization for the company, to get prepared to do marketing for Shotgun Fantasy, and to kind of reflect, right? So it's been almost a year now since leaving my EGG contract. I think that will be, I guess on week 52, right? It will be the last week from a year from doing it. So that's going to happen sometime, I guess February. I forget exactly when I started these. At any rate, kind of a big deal. So I'm thinking about that, and it also just happens as we're finishing up my first book, Shotgun Fantasy. It's time to figure out what's going to be next, what things I'm going to work on, and just to kind of look at the different opportunities and the different directions that we can go. So I'm going to spend some time doing that, and I'll be sure to share with you my reflections and what we're going to do. I've got some ideas in mind, but like I said, next time around, I think we'll talk about that. It's been pretty challenging. I remember, kind of the first half of this endeavor was really about planning, kind of laying foundation, figuring out how we're going to do things, and then I had to get a new job, and then that job kind of picked up more and more of my time as the summer grew on. And then as summer came in, we kind of hit a stride in that, I had my main project underway, Shotgun Fantasy. I was doing some side projects. I also got some contracts all at the same time, big and small ones, and then the layout contracts and stuff, and all that requires a certain amount of negotiation and communication back and forth, which takes up some of my time as well. So things got really busy at the end of the year, which is good in terms of making more money for Sig Trent Games, for myself, for my wife, and to invest in the projects in the future. So that's pretty cool, but I learned a lot of things. I got all the stock art figured out, contracted with artists, wrote artist contracts, got new custom art to add to the portfolio, created a database of all our art assets and everything, so it's really easy to put those out, including the kinds of credits we need to include when we use the art, and so on and so forth. So lots of good organizational work. And in the end of the day, I haven't counted up how many words I wrote, but it's quite a bit. Shotgun Fantasy is like 57K. Pirates was another 7, so that's in the 60s. Secret Project was 40K, so that's easily 100,000 words, plus I have done plenty of words for marketing stuff, for a little, interacting with people, of course, and all that kind of thing, and also working on stuff that we haven't put out yet. So it's been a lot, a busy year, but I would say mostly successful. There are certain things I thought maybe by this point we would have Shotgun Fantasy available and out. I was hoping to get that done by the end of the year. At one point I was hoping it could happen in the summer, but it just wasn't going to happen. as it turns out. Yeah, wildly off of what was possible given the other obligations that I had. I thought maybe I'd be into the second project by now, and I kind of am in the sense like I've got 2, 3, 4 more that are kind of getting started, but I haven't decided exactly which ones are going to get the green light to go, right? Because sometimes I like to develop ideas up to a certain point to really see if it's going to gel together or if it's going to be something that's just too hard to do. So, yeah, we'll see. But we are at kind of an inflection point where I can go in different directions and different things can happen. The things that for sure are going to be coming up are, of course, putting our first book out, getting Shotgun Fantasy out to people to enjoy, getting out to people to review, promoting it, just giving it all the love I can, and getting it printed. We're probably going to do print on demand to start with, which is going to be kind of expensive, just so you know. If you really want a print version of it, we'll try to make sure it's a nice print version. It is going to cost some money because print on demand is just kind of expensive because they do take care of everything, which makes it really easy for us to do, but makes it cost a bit more. We're also going to be looking at full book printing, meaning you send it to a press, they send you boxes of books, you send those boxes to distributors or to stores or to individual people. That all takes a lot of coordination and planning. I do have a friend over at Chaosium who's going to help me understand the printing process, give me a little tutorial, so I'm going to tap him to help me out with that pretty soon, and just to get my brain up to speed, to give me the contacts I need in order to get it done, and we're going to figure out how feasible it is. I have a limited amount of money that I can invest in a big print run or something, but I'm hoping maybe we can do something kind of small, makes it a little bit more expensive, but I'm willing to take a little bit lower margin to understand how things are working. And then, if we can build some success and build some buzz around the product, then maybe we'll do a little bit of a Kickstarter or something and get the money to do a bigger run that we can get out into stores as well. Or maybe the next product will be the one with the bigger run. We'll just see how it goes. But one way or another, we're going to print stuff this year, and I'm going to get that experience under my belt. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm going to redo Designer Diaries a little bit, I'm pretty sure. We'll probably have a new splash screen. I'm going to change my background. I might take some more goofy pictures, that kind of thing. So we'll just change things up a little bit. I might go to a bi-weekly schedule. It depends on how busy I get. I do like doing them every week, but sometimes just it becomes awkward because the day that I normally record, which is either Wednesday or Tuesday, just gets filled with other things, and it's hard to find the time. Today I was doing it, and suddenly I had to go off on an appointment, had to cut the video off in the middle. Now I'm re-recording, because I do these in one take, generally, and if the take goes bad, I just do it again. I actually find that is more efficient than doing a bunch of takes and going into a video editor and splicing everything together. I'd rather just perform it again, so it goes. And each one is actually unique and special, so, different each time. All right, our product spotlight is Everyday Pirates. Yay! So Everyday Pirates came out just yesterday as I'm recording this, so I think that would have been on the 13th. Maybe a good day for pirates, I don't know. Anyway, you can get that over on Sidekick. It was written by me. It's about 8,000, 9,000 words of pirate stuff. You can make pirate characters. We got pirate backgrounds, which are pretty fun. There's a whole pirate career path, so you can be a pirate captain or a deck swabber or a cannoneer or the ship's medic. There's all kinds of different options within there, and then you can get cool things like a peg leg, or you can get your pirate exotic pet. You can have a hook arm. We got details for all that stuff, so it's pretty fun. You can even be the ship's surgeon, and then you can give your friends peg legs or hook arms if they get hurt too much during your pirate adventure. So lots of fun things there. There's some pirate gear. We've got a boarding axe, which is a cool weapon that pirates often use that helps you climb up the side of a ship, and then you can use the axe to axe people, or axe them nicely to give up their booty. I don't know. It's a pretty fun book for all that stuff, so you can make cool pirate characters. Then it's got a ship combat system, and that's kind of, for me, the prize jewel of this particular ship. The true ship of the line for this product. Spent a lot of time thinking about how to do pirate sea battles, make them fun, make them strategic, but also make them pretty quick, and make it so everybody on the ship can participate in the action and have an influence on the outcome of the combat. So that's a lot of things to try and achieve. Fortunately, the system from Intergalactic Heroes that was developed by Brian and the other developers of Intergalactic Heroes, including myself, is pretty cool and worked as a good foundation. I needed to change a few things because these are not spaceships, so they work a little bit differently. And the kinds of things that happen on a pirate ship are different than the kinds of things that happen on the crew of the Enterprise or something like that, right? So there's no starfighters in ship-to-ship combat and stuff like that. So these are custom and they're a little bit different. It's kind of its own little system, but it's really fun. There's a bunch of ships statted out, so you can grab yourself a flute or a frigate or a ship of the line or a man of war, or a bunch of different things, all the way down to a little canoe or a giant, Spanish galleon, or even bigger British ship of the line, something like that. Although it's not a kind of ship that pirates would be in. Usually that's a ship that hunts pirates, so you probably run away from those if you see them. Anyway, we've got all those ship stats in there. We've got stats for crew, and the crew can have different kinds of morale. So as you do different piratey things, your morale could go up or your morale can go down, both in the course of battle and in the course of role-playing. And so that's going to change your crew's ability to do stuff on the ship for you. Because if all the members of your party, none of them are good sailing, but you happen to be in a pirate battle, well, then you can call on the crew to do some of the sailing for you. And so it's important to know how good they are at that and how motivated they are. And also, if they don't like you enough, if you do treat your crew very poorly, they may all mutiny on you and run away, in which case you're going to be dead in the water. So we got crew morale, that's kind of cool. And that's all a pretty small system, just a little table and some instructions on it. Then there's a sailing strategy chart, so whether you're trying to board the enemy ship or shoot cannons at them or trying to run them down with your sails as they try to get away, you pick one of these kinds of strategies, and then the GM is going to pick the strategy for the other boat. And there's a little grid that tells you what kind of ship event to do. And so there's about 6 or 8 different kinds of ship events that are the intersection of these different strategies. Of course, like if you both run away, there's no ship event. Everyone just flees and goes their separate way in the ocean, right? But if somebody's trying to shoot the other person and they're trying to board, then there's different kinds of interactions. So you get into a ship event. In a ship event, all the members of the crew, the players, and then the NPC crew as well, if you want, can participate in the ship event, make dice rolls to do things like, hoist the sails, plot a strategic course that's going to outmaneuver the enemy, try to read what they're doing, try to avoid cannon fire, try to aim your cannons at the enemy ship. All these kinds of different things can happen during ship events, and then you're going to go through that process, and there's going to be some kind of an outcome, which, hopefully involves doing the thing that you were trying to do, shooting the enemy ship, boarding them, or running away, right? So if your side succeeds, then you get to do those things. And if your side fails, then the enemy is going to be doing things to you, and then you get a chance to respond to that. So it's a pretty cool system to keep everybody involved, and it goes pretty fast. We did a bunch of test ship events and combat encounters using this system over the holiday weekend. They usually took 20-25 minutes to do one of these ship-to-ship combats or a chase or whatever it is you want to do with the ship events. And it worked really well, I thought. It was pretty fun, kind of exciting. You never knew exactly what was going to happen, but there was definitely strategy involved. So you felt like, hey, it matters what kind of ship I am in, and it matters what I decide to do with my ship. So those were my goals, and it seems to satisfy them well. So I hope you have fun with that. I think it's pretty cool. I think it would make a great little campaign where you just, instead of a whole lot of role playing, you're just like, we're going to start with a canoe and a few pirates in our crew, and we're going to try and go out and capture ships and then recruit more pirates and divvy up our loot, just kind of like you're playing Sid Meier's Pirates or something like that, right? And then you can just add role playing as you go. I think it's kind of a fun mini game. Now, there's going to be Adventure for Everyday Pirates coming out. I'm not writing that. Somebody else is doing that one. I don't know exactly when it comes out, theoretically later in the month. And so you can put all your Piratel action to the test, or you can make your own pirate adventures. There's certainly some suggestions for that in the book as well. All right, so that's over on Sidekick, by the way. $5 or 1 ticket. Already been paid for Everyday Pirates, so buy as many as you like, but I'd like to see Evil Genius get their money back from paying me, always. So please do support. All right, game design tip of the week. Taking a break. Both that is the game design tip of the week, is to take a break, and I'm taking a break from the game design tip of the week, which, as if you've watched a lot of these, I do from time to time. Was super crazy busy the week before. Did not have time to think about game design very much. I had to do it, right? But I do think it is important to take a break, as I have stressed in other similar tips of the week. When you are reaching that edge and you have accomplished an important goal, it's the time to pop the cork on the champagne, kick back, play some video games, do some fun stuff, relax a little bit, make yourself happy. So that's what I did. I also switched gears because I'm the kind of person I've always got to be moving forward a little bit. I don't always want to be working, but I always want to be doing something useful. And so I still did plenty of work during my break time, but it's very successful. If I had recorded this last week, you would have seen a very tired Siegfried, and you're seeing a pretty cheerful, well, relaxed Siegfried because I took some time for myself to chill out, get extra sleep, and take care of business. So let's see, playing games. I did get to play a lot of games over the last 2 weeks. No Man's Sky, didn't play a ton of it, just little 2-hour snippets here and there. Had a good time. Upgraded my freighter. I found an S-class freighter finally, so I got that squared away, and it's a big battleship style, which I like. I think I like the pirate one the best. It's not a pirate one, but if I find an S-class pirate one, then I'll upgrade to that. Played a game called Dark Side Detective a little bit. This was definitely a chill-out game. On the day I completed my big assignment and turned it over, and I'm like, oh, I got 2 hours before I need to go to bed. I just want to play something that I can be really dumb. Dark Side Detective fit the bill. It's a little point-and-click adventure game, kind of in the Monkey Island style, I would say. So it is funny, kind of tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted. The puzzles are much easier than Monkey Island. They're very easy puzzles generally, and short little scenarios. So I think each scenario took me 10 minutes or something to play through. But they were cute. They had cute little dialogue, some nice little pixel animation. I had a good time. Dark Side Detective gets a thumbs up for me. I got it free on the Epic Game Store because I always look at the free games. If you want to go to our Discord, you can see all the free games that they have every week. And if you see a cool one, go pick it up. Free games are good. I played Tomb of the Lost, the second episode in what will probably be, I guess, 3 sessions for Tomb of the Lost. This is the adventure that I'm working on that I've had for a long time and I always run at conventions. It's kind of my go-to. Oh, you want to play D&D? Great. We'll play Tomb of the Lost. I'll run you through that. It's a 5th level adventure. It's very kind of old school, very trappy, lots of figuring out puzzles to get past things, but there's a little bit of combat. And I think I am going to write it up for Everyday Heroes and make it so it's modular, and I can also publish and sell it for 5e and for other game systems, probably some OSR systems, since it has a very OSR feel. So we'll do a little research and do that. And, generally speaking, when it comes to adventures, most of the work is in like doing the maps, doing the art, writing all the descriptions and everything. The mechanics part of an adventure is usually relatively simple to swap out for another game. So I'm going to set it up like that so that I can have some products outside of just the Everyday Heroes niche to bring in more people to eyeballs onto Sig Trent Games, what we can do. And from some different kinds of gaming communities, bring them together. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So I think that's our next project, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the boys I was running it for, they had a great time. These are all pretty old school gamers, kind of like me, and it's a pretty old school adventure. Everyone was super engaged, which is always what I'm looking for at the table when I'm running a game or playtesting something. If everyone seems really focused on what's happening, then that's a big plus, and that was definitely the case. And they were very clever in overcoming some of the challenges in the adventure. I thought it was good times. I played Axis and Allies 1942, but just a little bit. A friend of mine at work, who is not normally a gamer, decided to buy that game because it went on sale, asked me if I would help him play it and teach it and play with him, and totally agreed because I love war games. And I've not played an Axis and Allies game in a decade or more, I think. So that was pretty exciting for me, but I had to brush up on the rules. We had to set up the game. So our first session, which I told him would be like this, was just going over the rules, which is a little bit dry, especially he's not an experienced war gamer, and setting up the game. So we got that all done. It's a giant map of the whole world with all the forces that were involved in World War II arrayed out onto the map. And then we're going to engage in what should be probably a pretty long battle because he's brand new to the game. I haven't played it in a long time, so there's some new rules. So it's going to take us a while to work through it. But really, he was looking for something different to do, kind of a diversion, something away from his normal life. And hey, a long campaign war game like that is a great way to do it. Now, all you hardcore war gamers out there are like, haha, Axis and Allies, hardcore. Yeah, I know it's not really that kind of a game, but it can take a while to play through, and I think it has a nice fulsome experience, especially for somebody who doesn't normally play war games, where I would not bring in a truly hardcore war game, especially since I don't have a lot of experience with those myself. All right, lastly, I'll just mention Crucible, something I'm looking into. Probably tell you more about that as I learn more about it. It is a new game system from the folks that make Foundry VTT, and it's built to work in Foundry as well as to work for their new Ember campaign, which is like a whole role-playing campaign that is largely automated rule systems, but is still a TTRPG style play that runs in Foundry. I'm still learning about it. I think it's really, really interesting. Uh, it's not technically pen and paper, it's sort of VTT only kind of experience, and it's an RPG written for that in mind. So it is somewhere between the land of pen and paper, where you do want to keep things kind of simple so that it's easy to play at the table, and a true video game where, like, of course, everything is handled by the computer. And it's somewhere in the middle of that, which I think is a really interesting experiment. So I'm investigating and checking it out. I can't really tell you very much about it. I've only scratched the surface of it so far. But definitely an interesting thing to take a look into. All right, Nomad Ann is continuing with Twitch channel. Still No Man's Sky. She's mostly doing that on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. That will probably continue until she gets through Shotgun Fantasy Layout. All right, life in general. Boy, there's a lot of this too. It has been a crazy, busy past 2 weeks. All right, so had New Year's Day. That was great. I was writing like a mad fiend, and I didn't really go out of town or do anything special for New Year's. But when the midnight hour came, of course, Ann and I, we had a toast, celebrate the new year, celebrate our love, making it through another year, and looking forward to the next year. I did set a theme for this year. I don't do resolutions generally. I do kind of a theme. The theme sometimes goes wildly awry. Like the year I got leukemia, that wasn't part of my theme. Definitely not. And death and such. Illness was not a theme that I would choose. This year, motivated by political activities here in the U.S. that I do not care for, I chose the theme of defiance. But it doesn't just apply to politics. It's also defying the odds on a small company trying to be successful in a very difficult marketplace. Defying the urge to be lethargic or to take it too easy or to not take risks that you need to do in business. So it's sort of a theme that I can apply to a lot of things. I don't think of it as a very negative theme, though it sounds like you're against something, and I am. But I'm against the challenges of the world and trying to overcome those, right? So that's my theme of defiance this year. If you do New Year's themes or anything interesting, hey, let me know about that. I'd be very curious. So I got pretty agitated by politics. I'm not going to go into details there, but I did kind of vow to myself, I am going to be a little more outspoken. I think I'm going to do some political videos. Those will be on another channel. You won't see it here on Sig Trent Games because it's a game company. It's not about politics. So, I certainly have no problem with games that mix politics and all that kind of thing, and I'm a political person. I just kind of don't want to when it comes to Sig Trent Games. It's not what I'm about. It's just kind of about having fun. So I like to keep it positive. When you talk politics, you can't stay positive all the time. And it doesn't really work. Right. So anyway, if you are interested in that and what I have to say, you'll be able to check it out over there, and you get a full feel for the Year of Defiance. Haven't put that together yet, but it's on my list of things to get around to. And usually it kind of gets backburnered, and this year I'm gonna do a little bit more with it, even though I'm very, very busy. All right, I got called in for lots of extra time at the gift shop, but at the same time I had an incredibly tight deadline and like 12,000 words to write. That was exhausting because people kept getting sick. One of my coworkers broke her hand, leaving us shorthanded. Not to make light of her injury at all. It's just kind of funny that it worked out that way. And so, I had to kind of run the whole, there's like 2 stores actually, but normally somebody else runs the other one. I had to run both stores at the same time by myself. That was not great. And I had to be there a lot of hours that I'm not normally there. So kind of tough, but you got to do what you got to do. I don't ever want to leave my friends in the lurch. There was only one day they called me on a Monday and I still had like 9,000 words to write for 3 days. And I was just like, I cannot do it. I am so sorry. I would love to help, but on this occasion, not so much. So I always try to be there for people, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you have different people that you got to be there for. I spent a ton of time eating, writing, and trying to sleep as little but as much as possible. Anyway, my back was really acting up. It was a very hard week, but I got through it, and I'm a lot better. My lovely wife Anne helped me get my back together again. We got a heated blanket that helped. We got a new pillow that helps. Gave me some massage to kind of loosen out all that tightness, and I'm feeling a lot better now. So that's great. And the secret project was finished. That was fantastic. I took some time to chill out. I enjoyed that. I got to take my car in to be looked at because it was making funny noises, which was a little scary financially speaking. Got that back just today. Found out, It's just a problem with the air conditioner, so you just can't use your air conditioner. It's given up the ghost. Fine. No problem. $140 to learn that, but that's okay too, because I don't need a new engine. I don't need a new transmission. That's very good news. I sent out my invoices for all the work that I did here at the end of the year, so I should get some nice amount of money coming in to begin the year with, and in order to spend to do things that I need to do for marketing for Shotgun Fantasy, so that's great. And I got all my stuff organized on my Kanbans, so I got all the kinds of things that I need to get done here at the beginning of the year for Sig Trent Games and for my life in general. So I'm feeling great. On a good platform, running forward, defying the odds. I hope you guys have a wonderful 2026. If you pick a theme, which is kind of a fun thing to do if you're not into a bunch of hard things that you may or may not accomplish over the course of a full year, and you never know what's going to happen, a theme is a good way to go. I find it helpful. So anyway, I hope whatever your theme is, it involves a lot of happiness, joy, and good gaming. Bye-bye.